welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Before I go into the story, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Me going into the story, I want to say probably like my freshman or sophomore year, and I was in high school. So I used to talk to this boy. With me, I never ever like really been in no real relationship like that. Like I never really been in a real relationship. I probably only been in like probably 2 relationships out my whole life, including my fiance. Yeah, I've only been in like 2 relationships out my whole life. But me actually like talk to somebody, I actually like been talking to people off and on, but nothing serious like that. Like, if y'all get what I'm trying to say, I was always talking to people, but I never been in a real relationship with nobody because I never really took nobody serious. So yeah, this was my high school year, talking to this one boy, and it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna get crazy out because like I felt so bad because he really liked me, y'all. Like he really did. Like I really felt so bad. But I was talking to him. We started talking like my freshman or sophomore year, and I think I was a freshman at the time. And we was talking, and after that, you know, as we started talking more, you know, talking on the phone and texting all of that stuff, he had you know, he was cool with our little vibe was, you know, cool or whatever. I just didn't want to be in a relationship. Like, I just, you know, we could, you know, still stay on the talking turn. I just didn't want to be in no relationship. So after that, he was like always asking me like, when you gonna be my girlfriend, this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, I don't really too much know about that because I'm not feeling you right now. Like, I'm not. So he like, you for real? Like he got real mad, y'all. Like he got real mad. He like, you for real? We've been talking this long and you still don't want to be my girlfriend, this, that, and other. I'm like, it's not about how long we've been talking. It's just the fact that if I'm not really ready for no relationship, I'm not ready for no relationship. So at the time, my cousin was going with his friend, and him and my cousin and his friend been going together for a long time. So I don't know if he thought like it was gonna be us like going on double dates, or I don't know if he thought that just because my cousin was going with his boy for a long time that me and him was gonna be going together. Nah, nope, I passed on that one. So we was talking and talking, and we was talking and talking, and then after that, one day, I'm not gonna say I was embarrassed. I'm not gonna, okay, if I'm looking back now, I was embarrassed, like I was. But that was the mindset that I had back in high school. So I was embarrassed, I ain't gonna lie, because of his weight. I'm not gonna say lie, because of his weight. So we were sitting there talking and stuff, and that's not the only thing. I'm gonna get, as I get more into the story, I'm gonna tell y'all. So we were sitting there talking. So he basically like, he was like, so I'm not gonna have a chance to be able to talk to you one day. Let me actually be with you. I'm like, I mean, I can't predict the future. I mean, if you are. I can't predict the future. So he used to always get mad about that. Like, you always be saying that lame stuff, this, that, and the other. Okay, cool. Okay, whatever. So after that, he was like, I had a family gathering at my house. But mind you, his boy, which is at the time, when him and my cousin was going together, his boy and my cousin, when they was going together, whatever, his boy used to come to my house all the time or whatever. Like, when my cousin used to be over there, because my cousin stayed at my house. Like, you might as well say she practically lived with me. So she stayed at my house. So his boy was like, everybody in my family knew his friend, which knew my cousin as boyfriend or whatever. So, you know, he used to come over my house. You know, he didn't even have to be, he'd just be coming over there kicking it and stuff. So one day, we had through like a party. My mom, it was like a house gathering or something. We had through a house gathering or whatever. So that day, it was, a lot of them had came. It was my cousin's ex-boyfriend and a couple of his friends had came. And he was like, he had basically told me, he was like, what you want this weekend? I'm like, well, we having like a party or whatever. We having like a little get together and stuff, and you know, I'm just chilling and whatever. he like, oh, he was like, oh, so and so coming, which is my, I don't like to say names in the videos, like I just don't. So he was like, so and so coming. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, you already know he gonna be there, which is my cousin's ex-boyfriend or whatever, because like I said, everybody knew him, and you know, that's just how it was. So he like, oh, I'm definitely sliding. I'm like, well, I don't know, because I don't, and I paused. So he was like, wait, imagine we on the phone having this conversation. So I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna be a good idea. He was like, why you say that? He said, what you mean you don't know if that's gonna be a good idea? What you trying to say? You don't want me to be there or something? I'm like, well, I'm not exactly saying I don't want you to be here, but I mean, if you want to put it like that, then I guess, like, I don't know. So he like, okay. He was like, no, I'm coming with him, this, that, and the other. You got me messed up. He actually said the other word, but you know, YouTube, I'm not trying to get, you know, I'm not trying to, YouTube, yeah, just no YouTube. So I'm like, well, I'm like, what you getting mad for? I'm like, well, the thing is, if I say you can't come to my house, you can't come to my house, point blank, period. I don't care who coming. You just can't come. And guys, it was like I said, I was more so, he was always the type that he was always in and out of jail, always in and out of jail. And I didn't really like that. And I didn't want my family to really think that I was like talking to a jailbird or dating a jailbird and stuff like that. Like, they be popping up and he pop up like, they be like, oh, where you been? I mean, where you come from, so and so, like that or whatever. And then on him like, well, yeah, I just got out of jail. I had told him like, well, I just talked to you on the phone. You know, I'm like, during the party or whatever, you know, I just talk to you on the phone or whatever, you know, just talk to you in my room on the phone. He like, what you mean you gonna just talk to me in your room on the phone? He's like, no, it's not that. He was like, I just don't, he said, no, he said, no, I'm gonna come over and I just want to see you and spend time with you, and we can be in the room, whatever. Like, in the room? What room? Who room? What room? No, baby. If I say you can't come, you can't come. So the day of the party, y'all, it was so crazy. The day of the party, like, he got dressed and everything. Like, he like, well, I'm waiting on so-and-so and them to come, which is his friends or whatever. I'm waiting on them to come or whatever. He said, your cousin talked to, your cousin talked to her boyfriend or whatever. Did your cousin talk to him or whatever? I'm like, yeah, she talked to him. I'm like, yeah, they was talking earlier or whatever. I'm like, he told me that he was coming in a little bit. He was like, yeah, I told him I wanted to slide, but I also told him that she didn't want me to come. And I'm like, oh, for real? Like, that's what you said? He's like, yeah, I mean, that's what you told me. I'm going by what you told me. He was like, I mean, I don't care what you said, because I'm still coming. I'm like, man, y'all. Like, I was so scared because, like I said, at the time, he was like, he was fat. I don't know how he looked now, but at the time, he was fat, y'all. I ain't gonna sit and hold y'all up. He was. I'm not gonna say really so much of fat. He was chunky, if we're gonna put it like that. He was chunky. And I just couldn't see myself, like, nobody looking at me like, when he come through there, like, Quee, that's you? You know how fat, and y'all already know how relatives be when y'all bring somebody on, when y'all bring somebody to introduce the family, whatever. I don't want to be like, yeah, y'all this so and so, and they looking at him like, oh, okay, then look down at his leg and see that he on house arrest. Baby, no, the police not finna come to my house to pick you up. No, heck no. I'm like, nah, then on top of that, you on house arrest. How you think that you finna come party anyway if you on house? I'm like, how you think you finna party anyway if you on house arrest? Like, where they do that at? So, he used to always call my house or whatever, like, always call my house. I'll never forget. And then, the day of the party, whatever, he called my house. And I had told my mama, like, Ma, he not coming over. I'm like, the other one couldn't come over, which is, you know, my cousin's boyfriend. I'm like, he coming over. I'm like, cause I know him or whatever. But he not coming over. I'm like, cause I'm like, I just talk to him when I talk to him or whatever. Like, I just talk to him over the phone. But I told my mom, like, I was mad at him or whatever. And, you know, he still wasn't coming over. That's why I told him that's why I told my mama he wasn't coming over. She was like, why he not coming over? I mean, why you don't want him come over? I'm like, cause I'm mad at him. He be doing way too much. Knowing, like, I just didn't want him to come over, like, I don't want nobody to think, I ain't want nobody at the time, you know, knowing that I was talking to somebody fat or whatever. I'm like, what? Nah, that was low key. Like, that was supposed to be low key, y'all. So, and I know it's crazy, cause I'm like, I know y'all probably like, yeah, she childish, but that was my mindset back then. Not that I'll probably go with somebody fat right now, but I had told my mama, like, nah, Ma, he just not coming. Like, I told him I just talked to him over the phone or whatever. So, It was like so crazy, y'all, because like I did not want nobody really knowing that I talked to him, even though like his friends knew, but I didn't even want them to know. Like it was supposed to be low key, like I didn't want nobody. And then we wasn't even talking like that. It was just some like me being bored type stuff, like if that makes sense. Like okay, I don't know y'all. So after that he was like he basically was like, man, he called me like you bogus as ever, all this other stuff. And I had told him, like, he was like, he had called me, he was like so number made this shit. I'm like, yeah. I'm like he was like, they were supposed to come get me and stuff. I'm like, well, I don't know what happened. So I had told him like, well, yeah, the party finna be over in a little bit anyway. I'm like, probably like another 30 minutes or an hour finna be over. So I'm like, it's pointless for you to come. He said, I thought you was gonna call. And I did tell him, yeah, that I was gonna call him and let him know if he can come now or whatever. And he was, I thought that you was gonna call me. And so I'm like, no, I was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm like, dang, you right, I was supposed to call you, but I didn't want to call that man for real, y'all. I didn't. I was just trying to telling him that. I'm like, well, the party over like in 30 minutes to an hour anyway. So I'm like, you know, I'm like, you ain't really missed nothing. I'm like, ain't nobody really come. No, and it was a house full, y'all. Like when we have family events, it'd be a house full. All my family members be there, cause the party be lit or whatever. But I just didn't want him to come. Like, yeah, I was embarrassed. I was. And then after that, like, I'm glad I didn't let him come, because he for real, like, the whole time, he was, he definitely had went back to jail for, like, I don't know how long he had went to jail. My cousin's like, why you ain't, she started laughing, she started laughing with her. She was like, Queen, you bogus as ever, you really didn't let him come. I'm like, girl, cause no, for real though, like, nah. I'm like, you already know how I am with him. And she was like, yeah, I know. She was like, but he really like you. You should have gave him a chance. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I can't. I'm like, she was talking about, you should have gave him a chance and stuff. I'm like, what? Nah. I'm like, girl, no. And she was like, I'm talking about somebody, all he had to do was just lose a little bit of weight and he would, I'm like, girl, you trying to be funny now, cause you know that man would be. I'm like, would you go with somebody that said, like I said, y'all, he wasn't too much shit. He wasn't fat. He was chunky, and that was still like And then there was something else with him, like I just couldn't rock with. Like I don't know, I couldn't really put my finger on. It was something else. Like he wanted me way too bad. Like he wanted me way too bad, and I'm like, I don't know. It was something. Why you want me? Why me out of all people that you really want me? Like you want me real bad, and I just couldn't rock with that. And then like later on or whatever, that's when I found out like what he actually went to jail for. I'm like, yep, I knew something else was wrong with him in the head, because like really, like it was sickening, y'all. It was. I'm like, I just didn't say nothing. I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't really rock with him, vibe with him like the way he wanted me to or whatever. Then y'all, he had bought me, he tried to claim he tried to claim that he had bought me some Jordans and stuff for like Christmas and stuff like that. And I'm like, I told him like, you might as well take them. This was before he had went to jail or whatever. And I'm like, you might as well take them Jordans and stuff back, because like, I mean, I told you not to buy me nothing. If I told you not to buy me nothing, don't buy me nothing. Like, cause he the type that if you'll get mad or something, he'll get mad. He'll probably want the stuff back. And he was telling me a story before, like he had bought some girls some stuff and then he took it back from her when she made him mad or whatever. I said, oh baby, you don't never gotta worry about me buying you anything, because I'm like, cause I didn't see us getting serious. First of all, he was only a friend. Like I didn't see us more than being just a friend, which he was. Like that's all I wanted him to be, was only a friend. But I didn't want to see him being more than just a friend or whatever. And I had told him, like, he like, yeah, I'm not gonna do you like, I don't know that, because you probably told her that. You probably told her that you weren't gonna do her like that. And look how you did her. I'm like, you're not finna sit here and tell me that you bought me some shoes, and then you're not finna sit here and try to tell me that your grandma took you to the store and you bought me some shoes, and he lied talking about he bought me a ring. I'm like, you did, baby. You can say both of that, but I'm sorry, but I'm not that type. I'm not, me guys, I'm not that type of female to try to sit here and say, oh, if he got money, or if he banged me this, he banged me that, I'm gonna be with the person, or I'm gonna, jump for him. No, I'm not that kind of female at all. Money is not, no. Like, I mean, I know everybody love money, this, that, and the other, but money don't try to make me jump hard. Money don't try to make me hurry up, jump to the beach to try to be with you. Like, I'm not that kind of female. I'm not I'm not no gold digger female at all. Like I was telling my fiance when we got together, whatever. He basically asked me, like, when we first got together, whatever, my fiance didn't have a job, but he was in school. I had a job, and, you know, in school also. And I had told him, like, I guess he probably thought that him not having no job, that it was gonna make me stop talking to him. And like I said, as long as I like your vibe and your energy, and, you know, we cool on the same level, you not having a job don't mean anything. Like, it doesn't. Like, we work on it together. And, like, I was basically I always tell people, and I had told somebody else that I used to talk to, you not having a job don't mean anything at all. Like, it don't. I'm like, as long as we vibe and we click together, whatever, and stuff like that, it doesn't matter. Like, it don't. And I'm like, cause it's not like, you know, that's when we were living with our parents or whatever. But I mean, we grown on our own, and you don't have a job for this amount of years or this amount of months or whatever. You don't have no job for this amount of months to years or whatever. Then it's a problem now, because we both grown and we both paying these bills. But, you know, I still help out then, but it can't be, you know, I can't keep on picking up your slack every time you don't have a job or you just want to sit down. I can't do that. Like, I just can't. So, and like, the moral of the story, it's not that just because somebody buy me something, I'm just trying to jump still. I'm not that kind of female. Like, I don't jump to nobody beat just because they buy me something. Here's to tell to do all you substitute. Like, I bought you these jewelries and this ring, and you mean tell me that you don't want it. It's not the fact that I don't want it. Yes, you're right, I don't want it, but that's not the only reason. The reason being is, you're not gonna try to sit here and get mad at me. I'm like, for one, we not even in a relationship for you to buy me anything. Like, I would appreciate it if we was in a relationship, but we wasn't even in a relationship for you to buy me anything. And then for two, you bought me a ring. I don't know how true it was, but you're not finna. No, that's not how you're gonna get me. Sorry, no. Like, you ain't gotta call me, write me, none of that. It's just I see you when I see you type stuff. I ain't have time for all of that. Like, I was just trying to be too busy to keep my grades together, and that was it. So yeah, guys, that was my little story time. And I'm glad for that little year that, you know, it did go wrong, because I can't, like I said, I wasn't able to hold nobody down in jail. I wasn't. Not being a freshman, I wasn't. I mean, sorry, I just couldn't hold nobody down in jail. I can't put no monies on your book and none of that. I'm cool. So guys, that was my little story time for today. I hope you guys liked it, because it was crazy. But y'all already know what I'm about to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified. Let me zoom in. To be notified. Let me zoom in, zoom, when Quelanarsha posts on her channel. I'm just playing, y'all. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified when Quelanarsha posts on her channel. And I'll see you guys in another video.